Good morning, breathers. So, this is part of my Breath Reclamation Project. It's part of my 25 days to optimal health. Why am I always talking about nasal breath? Why is it important? Because really, I'm going to be sarcastic here. You can eat whatever you want, and actually you can. It all has an effect. If you have nasal congestion, you just go to a white coat and he'll give you some drugs. And if you can't breathe still, they'll give you some surgery. But what they won't tell you is to breathe through your nose. They say it does not matter how you breathe, just get air in there. Couldn't be further from the truth. So, why is it important to breathe through the nose? What do we do about 25,000 times a day? Well, we breathe. If we're breathing inefficiently 25,000 times a freaking day, do you think that's going to have an impact on our health? You're right. You bet it is. So, fun fact, of course, we breathe 25,000 times a day. We have 60,000 miles of blood vessels in these awesome bodies that we have been given by our ancestors. We have 25 trillion red blood cells. That's quite a few, obviously. In each of those red blood cells, we have, did I forget? 270 million hemoglobin molecules in each one of those 25 trillion red blood cells. And in each hemoglobin molecule can carry up to 4 oxygen molecules. And if any of us have a pulse oximeter, which I can't find it, I've got a couple. One of these little deals, a pulse oximeter, put it in our finger. And this doesn't work perfect all the time, but I'll put it on. Most of us will have a blood oxygen saturation of 95 to 100%. And that's oftentimes even when we're feeling breathless. So another fun fact is, I didn't know this. I didn't know all about the blood vessels and how many red blood cells we have. Another fun fact is, did you know we have turbinates on each side of our nasal passages? And what is a turbinate? It's a little bony structure on each side inside our nasal cavity. That when we breathe nasally, the air swirls through that. It gets bounced around. It goes through our little hair, the cilia. It goes through the mucous membrane. So it's filtered. It's purified. It's humidified. And it's a smaller passageway than the mouth. So it's like a nozzle with a nozzle closed a little bit. It shoots down deeper into the lungs, the blood-rich area of the lungs. So there's greater oxygen uptake. It's greater oxygen uptake because it's humidified, which is moistened and warmed. It's purified through the cilia and passing through the all around the mucous membranes. Gross, isn't it? Who wants to talk about this? It is purified because of the nitric oxide, which is produced in our nasal passages, which is a vasodilator, and it's antiviral, antibacterial. You can't buy this kind of stuff. This is awesome. It's purified because of the carbon dioxide. And so when we talk about breath, we talk about 3 gases primarily when we're talking the biochemical. You have the oxygen, which all of our cells need to produce energy. Mitochondria need that oxygen to produce ATP. So, and then we talk about carbon dioxide, which is pretty much just dismissed as a waste product, a byproduct of cellular activity and generation. The red blood cells carry it away. And we talk about nitric oxide, which most people don't know what that is, haven't heard of it. And it's a very important molecule. In 1992, it was called the Molecule of the Year, I think in Science or Nature magazine. So just for a second, talk about carbon dioxide. Christian Bohr said that we need carbon dioxide. In the presence of carbon dioxide, the bond between hemoglobin and oxygen is lessened. So we can release all the oxygen that's in our blood into the working cells if we have a decent level of carbon dioxide. And what we say oftentimes too is when we overbreathe, we're outgassing our carbon dioxide, which meaning we don't have as much carbon dioxide. And so we can't get as enough oxygenation. So like when you hyperventilate, you're out of breath, you're stressed, have an anxiety attack, unless you're doing a specific breathing exercise, and that's intentional stress, and that's a different story. But this habitual unconscious breathing is outgassing carbon dioxide, which means your oxygen is not being able to be taken up into your working cells, meaning it's doing the opposite effect. You're not helping your feeling of breathlessness. You're creating more panic and more breathlessness. So that's just a couple ideas there. It's very important to practice and to relearn breathing because we develop habitual incorrect breathing habits. Everybody does. And pretty much nobody's talking about the fact that through our breath, we can lower our blood pressure. I mean, we can breathe functionally with almost every breath. I mean, who wouldn't want to do that? And we can increase our mental alertness. We can regulate our body temperature, help our body's doing that for us, but we can work with this amazing brand new Chevrolet Corvette Stingray. Every 6 weeks, pretty much every day, we have a new model. When we're sleeping well, we're regenerated. Our body is just continually regenerated. Your Corvette Stingray can't regenerate itself. We can regenerate ourselves. We are more awesome than a Corvette Stingray. We're more awesome than your highest tech app. I don't care. We are awesome. And it's in our control. Our body is working for us. Of course, we've been living life and we may have some habits that have contributed and are kind of destructive, some autoimmune issues where our body is attacking itself. But we can do what we can. We can reestablish, we can reclaim our optimal breathing patterns and thereby reclaim our optimal health, which is our birthright. It's never too late. As long as you're breathing, it's never too late. So breathers, just a little deal about that. I'm offering my 5-week, 25 days of optimal health. It's a way to be accountable. I mean, you're breathing every day. So why not take 5 minutes and focus on your breath? And there's techniques, simple. You won't sweat. You won't break a leg. You won't crash because you'll be focusing. Your mind will be more focused. 5 minutes, 5 times a day, 5 days a week. You can take Saturday and Sunday off, but I bet you'll still be breathing. We'll do this for 5 weeks. I mean, I'm going to be posting this on the YouTube and you can follow along free of charge. But when you enroll in the program, you'll have a little work booklet where you can check off each one you do, which kind of seems to be important. And you'll have me to coach you once a week, plus anytime you want to call and have a question. So it's important, and it's simple. It's something that anybody can do, and you probably are doing other things for your health, things you really believe are good for you. And I'd say most of them are. Maybe some of them aren't. But we've all been there, and we all are there at one level or the other. But this is all for today. I just wanted to talk about the importance of nasal breathing. So shut your mouth, save your life. Love to work with you on this journey. Coach Couch out.